and inaugurated the Nalanda University. And he says for us, Nalanda doesn't represent only a university, it represents a thought, it represents a mindset, it represents a vibration. And Nalanda is a symbol of India and all those who came to study in Nalanda, representing their civilizations and countries. Nalanda represented the heritage of Lord Buddha himself. And therefore, Nalanda today will again represent that. Last month, in the month of February, there is again a special announcement that was made. And I want to bring that before you. In Bihar, addressing a public meeting, Prime Minister Modi said that he spoke about Vikramshila University. And he said, once upon a time, Vikramshila University was a global center of learning. You had the great Atisha Dipankar who taught in Vikramshila. There were 108 Pandits in Vikramshila who taught Acharyas, and there were 8 Maha-Acharyas, Maha-Pandita in Vikramshila who taught. And he said, we have already embarked on a mission to revive the ancient glory of Nalanda University, aligning it with modern Bharat. Now, following in Nalanda's footsteps, a central university is also being established in Vikramshila. The central government will initiate work on this ambitious project. Friends, I think this is an ongoing process. We are at a very interesting time in the history. We are at a very interesting moment when many new things are happening. And please remember that these universities are not only being rebuilt for India, it is being rebuilt for all of us. It is being rebuilt as a symbol of Lord Buddha. It is being rebuilt to lay the foundations of the Asian century. And the Asian century, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi always says, is to be guided, is to be driven by Lord Buddha's legacy and his message. I wanted to just say this much. I would now start the proceedings. I would request our very dear elder brother, Sri Tarun Chok. We have traveled together. We have gone to Leh. We have gone to so many places carrying this message. And I'm very grateful to you for being part of this effort, for making this effort meaningful. I would request you, विचार सबके साथ शेयर कीजिए.
यहाँ उपस्थित सभी रिस्पेक्टेड बनते, सभी लामास, सभी को मैं सादर प्रणाम करता हूँ. और विशेष रूप से भारत के गौरव का स्थान नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी से हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए केटीएस जी को भी मैं प्रणाम करता हूँ. और श्रीलंका से भी जो हमारे बंधु जुड़े हैं, जैसे दम्मा जी, मैं उनका भी प्रणाम करता हूँ. मिश्रा जी भी जुड़े हैं, श्री वल्लभ जी भी जुड़े हैं, विकास जैन जी भी जुड़े हैं. इन सबका भी स्वागत है. लगातार कई दिनों से देश के अलग अलग कोनों में श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी ट्रस्ट की ओर से, समाज के अलग अलग वर्गों की ओर से पाली भाषा के कार्यक्रम हुए.
You want me to translate also? Yeah. Short can translate. Then I'll give a gist. I'll give a gist. Flow is not.
जब से प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 26 मई 2014 से शपथ ली है, तब से लेकर एक एक दिन, एक एक पल देश का गौरव कैसे बढ़े, हमारी पुरातन संस्कृति कैसे पूरी दुनिया के काम आए, उन्होंने सरकार बनते ही हर सरकार बनने के बाद एक बड़ा काम किया। तो मेरे को याद है कि पहली सरकार के बाद 15 अगस्त 2014 का उनका जो भाषण है, वो देश के गरीब को वित्तीय ताकत देने का भाषण। कि देश का गरीब किस तरह बैंक के साथ जुड़े, देश का गरीब किस तरह इंश्योरेंस के साथ जुड़े, देश का गरीब की झोंपड़ी के अंदर कैसे रसोई गैस पहुंचे। और ये कुछ छोटी स्ट्रेंथ में नहीं, उन्होंने 12 करोड़ घरों पर रसोई गैस पहुंचाया, 13 करोड़ से ज्यादा शौचालय बनाए, 62 करोड़ से ज्यादा भारत के नागरिकों को बैंक के साथ जोड़ा, करोड़ों नागरिकों को मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस के साथ जोड़ा। जब उनकी दूसरी पारी आई तो उन्होंने देश की एकता अखंडता 2019 में, 5 अगस्त 2019 में देश की एकता अखंडता के लिए उन्होंने लगातार निर्णय लिए और 370-35 से मुक्ति मिली। और देश के अंदर जब उनकी तीसरी सरकार आई तो तीसरी सरकार का सबसे बड़ा काम, उन्होंने नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी यानी एक विचार, नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी यानी भारत की सोच, नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी यानी भारत की गोल्डन एरा जहां से शुरू होती है वो नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी। और उसी तरह ये तीसरी टर्म भारत को विश्व की तीसरी आर्थिक महाशक्ति बनाने की ओर अग्रसर हो रही है। तो मैं समझता हूँ ये जो तीसरी पारी है इसमें सबसे बड़ा काम प्रधानमंत्री जी ने किया है। और उन्होंने अब विक्रमशिला, जो भारत की ताकत जो थी और आज भी जो ताकत है, वो भारत की संस्कृति में ताकत है, भारत की सभ्यता में ताकत। दुनिया में बड़ी बड़ी शक्तियां खड़ी हुई हैं, कोई बम फेंक के शक्तिशाली बना है, तो किसी को मार के शक्तिशाली बना है। भारत की सोच दिल जीत कर शक्तिशाली बनी और उस पर लगातार प्रधानमंत्री जी जहां भी जा रहे हैं तो वहां वो बता रहे हैं कि भारत की धरती बुद्ध की धरती है और विश्व में अगर युद्ध को समाप्त करना है तो भारत के बुद्ध ही उसको समाप्त कर सकते हैं। बारूद के ढेर पर बैठी दुनिया, हम रोज देखते हैं कि किस तरह छोटे छोटे देश आपस में लड़ रहे हैं और जिसका असर स्पष्ट दिखता है, मानवता पर दिखता है। उसी श्रृंखला में पाली भाषा को जो स्थान मिलना चाहिए था वो देने का काम मोदी जी ने किया है। मैं समझता हूँ तो बहुत बड़ा काम। भारत की संस्कृति को समझना तो उसका बहुत बड़ा पुराव भगवान बुद्ध को समझना, भगवान बुद्ध को समझना है। यानी भारत की पुरातन सोच का अगर आपको स्ट्रक्ट यानी निचोड़ समझना है तो आपको बुद्ध को समझना है। और बुद्ध को समझना है तो पाली पढ़ना पड़ेगा। इतनी साइंटिफिक, इतनी पवित्र, इतनी सरल भाषा, लेकिन देश की आजादी के 75 साल लगे उसको वापस खड़ा कर। जो काम शायद 15 अगस्त 1947 की पहली घड़ी पर होना चाहिए था, वो काम 75 साल लगे उसे करने में। लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने बहुत बड़ा भगीरथी कार्य किया है। और हमारे सभी पुराने ग्रंथ जो आज विश्व को रास्ता दिखा सकते हैं, वो सभी पाली भाषा। और मेरे को मौका मिला मेरठ में जाकर यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर पाली भाषा की डिग्री और ये सब, हम दोनों भाई गए थे, कोर्सेज शुरू हुए वहाँ। और जो एक बीज मोदी जी ने दोबारा डाला है, निश्चित रूप से आज वो एक पौधा बना हुआ दिख रहा है। ये वट वृक्ष बनेगा, ये समझ के चलिए। जितना बड़ा ये वट वृक्ष बनेगा भारत की संस्कृति उतनी बड़ी होगी। और भारत की सोच यानी विश्व को दिल जीतने की सोच, भारत की सोच यानी विश्व एक परिवार है और परिवार में सबको मिलकर आगे बढ़ना है। वो सोच हमारे पूर्वजों ने जो तैयार की, वो सोच आज पाली भाषा के माध्यम से जन जन तक पहुंचेगी। और हमारे जो पवित्र ग्रंथ है त्रिपिटक, उसको पढ़ने का, जन जन तक पहुंचने का एक अच्छा मौका मिलने वाला है। मैं आज केटीएस साहब हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं और यहाँ सभी आदरणीय लामाज और इन सबका भी आशीर्वाद हमें मिल रहा है। जो प्रधानमंत्री चाहते हैं कि पूरे विश्व के अंदर जिस तरह भारत में बुद्ध की शिक्षाओं को अशोका जी के समय में पहुंचाया था, उस सम्राट अशोक के समय में पूरे विश्व में फैली, वही समय हमें दोबारा लाना और भारत की सोच यानी भगवान बुद्ध की सोच आज पूरे विश्व में फैले, उसकी शुरुआत मोदी जी ने की है। और मैं आप सबका स्वागत भी करता हूं और आप सबसे निवेदन भी करता हूं। प्रधानमंत्री ने बड़े बड़े स्टेप्स लिए हैं, इन स्टेप्स को हम कैसे आगे लेके जाएं, इनके माध्यम से हम, जो मोदी जी की सोच है कि बुद्ध सर्कट यानी भारत के आसपास का पूरा क्षेत्र जो सांस्कृतिक रूप से भारत से जुड़ा है, जो विचार के रूप से भारत से जुड़ा है, हमारी सीमाएं सागर के साथ लगती हो या पहाड़ के साथ लगती, लेकिन हमारा डीएनए दिल के साथ लगा। आज चाहे म्यांमार में, बैंकॉक में कुछ होता है तो ऐसा लगता है कि हमारी फैमिली में से किसी के ऊपर कुछ हो रहा है। ये हमारा बड़ा परिवार है। उस परिवार का अगर कोई सेतु है, इस माला के अंदर किसी ने धागे का काम किया है, तो वो बुद्ध का विचार है जिसने स्थापित। सो मैं आप सबसे भी निवेदन करता हूं कि प्रधानमंत्री जी की सोच जो काम सम्राट अशोक के समय में 300 बीसी में हुआ है, वही काम हम सबको मिलकर करना है। मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी का धन्यवाद भी करता हूं और आप सबसे भी निवेदन करता हूं कि भगवान बुद्ध की तथागत की बात को जन जन तक पहुंचाने के लिए, उनके लिखे हुए ग्रंथों को जन जन तक पहुंचाने के लिए पाली को आगे बढ़ाना, और पाली को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए हमारे शिक्षण संस्थान भी आगे आए, हमारे विद्यार्थी भी आगे आए। और जैसे सरकार लगातार अभी विक्रमशिला की बात हो रही है, पहले नालंदा विचारों में था, आज नालंदा प्रैक्टिकल काम कर रहा है। और मैं समझता हूँ जिस समय देश के प्रमुख आचार्यों ने, आचार्य जनक ने जब ये विषय रखा था कि भी भारत की एक बहुत बड़ा विश्वविद्यालय तक्षशिला के बाद नालंदा में होना चाहिए, तो उस समय भी लोगों को लगता था कि बहुत बड़ा टारगेट, लेकिन वो बना भी और उसने देश को सर्व भी किया, विश्व में एक मानक भी तय किया। वही सब चीजें हमें दोबारा खड़ी करनी है। और मैं आप सबको विनम्र प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी की सोच है कि भारत बुद्ध की धरती है और विश्व में भारत का संदेश यानी बुद्ध का संदेश है। भारत की संस्कृति का निचोड़ बुद्ध की वाणी है, और बुद्ध की वाणी को पढ़ने के लिए अगर किसी भाषा की आवश्यकता है तो वो पाली है। हमें उसके प्रोत्साहन में आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। इतने विद्वान है, मैं तो सुनने वालों में से हूँ। गांधी जी ने कहा कि आप भी बोलिए, मैं आप सबके सामने कुछ शब्द रख पाया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू वेरी मच। बहुत धन्यवाद तरुण चुप जी। Extremely pinpointed for your observations were extremely pinpointed and to be on the issue. I just make a very brief précis of what he said, and I think most have understood. But still, it is very important that we believe, we declare, and our Prime Minister also says that at all levels, not only internationally, not only in the country but abroad, that India is the land of Lord Buddha. And the greatest contribution that India has made civilizationally is to give Buddha to the world. And we have not spoken about war. We have not spoken about conflict. We have spoken about the conquest of heart, Dhamma Vijaya. The other is that Pali used to be the people's language at one time, Loka Bhasha. And therefore, it is important in order to be able to go back to that status, in order to take Lord Buddha's message even wider and continuously to people, we should also encourage the study of Pali amongst people in general. Number three is, and I'm just broadly making the point that a very interesting observation he has made, and I agree with it, that we should strive to bring back the era of Ashoka. And there is deep symbolism in that. It is that kind of world, that kind of India, that kind of mindset that we wish to bring back. And it is led by Dhamma Vijay, led by Dhamma. These are the points that he has broadly made. And he has urged all of us, everyone, to take interest, to encourage the study, the learning of Pali, to research, greater research in Pali. Educational institutions also must encourage this. Being declared as a classical language opens up a lot of possibilities for the growth of this language, for the growth of its study as well. आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you very much. We have a limited time, so I would request Venerable Dr. Shaman Kachenji to please make his remarks.
Study. I studied. I mean, it's related to this. No doubt.
केजीएस साहब आवाज आ रही है आपको? ठीक है, जाना.
No doubt this is Indian language, but this language is very historical language. I prepared one writings for today. If you permit, can I read it? You can. I hope, yeah, by this article, there's points would be here.
You can tell main points.
Basically, I would like to.
And I would request you to give us this paper for publication. With your permission. KTSG is there. I am requesting his paper for publication with your permission.
All of you know about the newly distributed classical language, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji decided that recognition of Pali as a classical language, one of the great heritage of the Buddha. Therefore, I would like to pay most gratitude to Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. We know Pali is an ancient language in India that played a central role in dissolving the disseminating the teaching of the Buddha. Although the precise origin of Pali remain a subject of academic debate, it is widely accepted that Pali is closely related to the Turkic language spoken across the large part of northern India during the time of the Buddha. Unlike Sanskrit, which was primarily used by Brahminical scholars and priests, Pali was more accessible, emerging as a popular medium to convey the ethical, philosophical, and spiritual teaching of the Buddha message. The most famous and enduring use of Pali is the language of the Tripitaka. The Tripitaka Buddhist canonical text. We know that Tripitaka contains the Buddha's teachings on ethics, physics, psychology, and the nature of the reality. These texts are passed down orally for centuries and later written in Pali language in Sri Lanka in the first century BC. Rule of the Pali as the liturgical language of the Theravada Buddhism has ensured its continued study and use the countries such as Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, etc. According to meaning of the Pali, we got some important points. Origin of Pali, meaning of Pali. Just I would like to share with you the meaning of the word Pali. Much research of
You come and work.
scholars about the true meaning of the Pali words, but it is difficult to
And what about
accurate information from it. However, their research
Mishra ji, please.
findings are very significant.
Mishra ji, please mute your mic,
Right.
your microphone.
Therefore, some of their novel views of particularly noteworthy. Indian scholar like Dr. Sunit Kumar Chattopadhyay and historian Ramananda Kosambi opened that Pali origin of Pal Dhatu, root of the Pal, the Palo, and the word Pali means to preserve. That is the language in which the Buddha's words have been observed or preserved. According to R.C. Childers, Sabdastang Palayatite Pali, that is the important meaning of the word follows in this sense Pali. What is mean here? It is to observe the word of the holy book. Again, it is also said that Pate iti Pali, that is Pali in the sense of the reading. Here, reading means reciting the Buddha's word. About the origin of Pali, what Max Webster says that the word Pali is derived from the word Pataliputra. Patliputra. In favor of this, argued that the religion of the Buddha was first established in Magadha. Therefore, nothing that close corresponds with the word of Pali, the capital of Magadha. So Pataliputra, he said that the word Pali was contracted or corrupted to become the Pali word, like Patli to Pali, that is that key of the word Patali was lost and later converted into the word Pali. According to some scholar of the Pali words means row, piti, classes, etc. Lines are the lines of word. Here the line means the line of Tipitaka. That is the line of which the Tipitaka is written is called Pali. Again, some scholars have given the opinion that the word Pali has originated from the word Polli. The Sanskrit word Polli means small village where common people lives. So the language of the common people living in the rural or small villages was Pali. Later the word Pali became Pali. Therefore, the word Pali is the source of the word Pali. The word Tantri in Sanskrit and Tanti in Pali means Sutta. So some scholars assure that the word Pali is derived from the word Tanti or Sutta, because in Buddhist literature the word Tanti is used as one of the synonymous part of the word Pali. For example, Tanti ya Matikan Tapesi. Hence, Pali word the like Tanti Sutta are used to mean Tripitaka Shastra. According to simplest scholars, Magadhi language is derived from Magadhi Nirukti, and Pali language is modified from Magadhi language. So, the root of the Pali language is Magadhi Nirukti. Although there are different opinions in the scholarly circles while recovering the original Pali language, most of the scholars who supported the symbolist tradition are of the opinion the language of Magadha is Pali language. They think that the word of Pali means first the original Pitaka Shastra and later any of the Pitaka Shastras related to the original Pitaka Shastra. And the original Pitaka Shastra is called Pali, and the language in which Pali was written, Pali language gained prominence over the time. Original Pali language, like the meaning of the word Pali, there is much disagreement among scholars about the original Pali language. Pali is a mixed language, and scholars differ, nothing the similarly of various dialects within it. However, it is also said that Pali developed as the language of the Theravada Pitaka literature independently of the original dialects and become a separate literary language. Some of the language experts say that Pali language originated from one of the languages of Western India. According to some scholars, Pali language originated from an East Indian language. Others believe that Pali Bhasha originated from a Central Indian language. Many such differing opinions exist among scholars. A scholar's opinion about the origin of Pali language is even as follows, like homeland of Pali is Avanti. There are some evidence are there. Then Madhya is Vindhya region, the central region of India. There are some evidence also about Pali and Kalinga in modern Odisha and Kosala modern Uttar Pradesh. There are many evidence are there scholarly some of their opinion they play. Finally, in Magadha, in Bihar, the Buddha attained enlightenment in the kingdom of Magadha, and this kingdom was the main wandering ground of the missionary life of the Buddha. So a scholar think that he would have this in language prevalent in Magadha. The language of the people of the Magadha was Magadhi, and the Buddha himself was familiar with Magadhi language. Since the Buddha's teaching language was Pali, scholars believe that Magadha was the birthplace of Pali. According to symbolist tradition, in particular, Magadha was the birthplace of Pali language. Western scholars like Geiger, Windy, and others support the symbolist tradition and express the opinion that Magadha, the seat of Buddhism, is the birthplace of Pali language, and Magadha language was the original language of the Pitaka literature. Symbolist scholars have also some Pali is a language of the god like Sanskrit. According to them, the gods of the heaven speak the language. They firmly believe that Pali language is the original language of the man, and this is the language used by early human. A symbolist proverb is particularly noted in this context. For example, Ta Magodi Bulabasha, Nara Iya di Kapika, Vammano Sutsatalapa, Sambuddha Sapi Vasari. In other words, Magodi language of Pali is the mother tongue of the primitive man, Mahabrahma and Buddha. This in that language under the Pali with Pali. Thus, there are the many different opinions of the scholar about the origin of Pali language. It should be noted that Wintonese, Childers, and Indian scholars such as Dr. Venimal Purva are of the opinion that the original Pali language should be sought from the Magadhi language. According to them, the word of northern India belonged to the Magadha Empire in ancient times. So Pali was the state language of North in India at that time, common in this language. So the influence of the Buddha's teaching, the Pali stems far beyond the border of ancient India, begin with Emperor Ashoka's promotion of the Buddhism in 3rd century to 3rd century BC. Pali became a powerful vehicle for the spread of the Buddhist psychology, ritual, and culture throughout Asia. Ashoka, a great patron of the Buddhism, distributed missionaries to various parts of the known world, including Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. Where Pali some become the language of the religious discourse. There are many countries are studying Pali, but in Indian many universities are there are department of Pali and doing the study Pali. But I think it is great opportunity for students of study as a Pali classical language. If include this language in the syllabus of the schools, colleges, and university, if so that students of Buddhist studies are get benefited through educational institution in India. Thanks of all of you.
धन्यवाद Dr. Kachenji for a very succinct, and I look forward to having the paper, the full paper for our for publication also, because it has a lot of historical background with contemporary points. Thank you very much for the effort. I would request now Professor KTS Sarao, former head of Department Buddhist Studies, University of Delhi, visiting professor, Nalanda University, prolific author. I think studying whom many have received their PhD also. I'm also an admirer of his writings, and his academic research guru is also my guru. So that there is a link, and I request Professor KTS Sarao, thank you so much for joining us at such a short notice. Many of us here are your admirers. We are readers of your book. Please enlighten us with your words.
स्क्रीन बड़ी कर दूं, फोटो बड़ी कर दूं।
ये बड़ा हो सकता है स्क्रीन?
कर देते हैं।
नमो बुद्धाय।
नमो बुद्धाय।
नमो बुद्धाय।
बौद्ध धर्म के कल्याण मित्र माननीय तरुण चुग जी और डॉक्टर अनिर्बान गांगुली जी, and my dear friend venerable Dr. Kachayan Shraman ji, and venerable Dr. Sumed, and honorable venerable Professor Vichit Dhamma, and my colleague here at Nalanda University, Professor Mishra ji. It's a great honor to be here to participate in this such wonderful workshop on the importance of Pali. Whatever venerable Kachayan Shramanji was saying, he has explained the origin and the home place of Pali really very well. Really very nicely. He has really worked very hard on this subject. He definitely, as Dr. Ganguly ji has said, his paper should be published as soon as possible. Perhaps you are aware that, as Dr. Shramanji was also saying, there are all kinds of views, opinions about the origin and homeland of Pali. I think originally the problem that has began with regard to the origin of Pali, homeland of Pali, and the name Pali itself, Pali Bhasha, how it comes into origin. The initial trouble started long ago with the Victorian Indologists, when Queen Victoria became the Empress of India, and these people were literally owning our holy books. They edited, translated them in their own manner, and they interpreted that in their own manner. Pali, the understanding of Pali as language of Theravada and Buddhism, and as a very important language of India, the trouble started with these people, the way they interpreted these things. For example, I'll give you one very relevant example here. The word dham or dharma. Now, these people, they used equivalent words for dharma as madhab or religion, as in the Abrahamic tradition. Now, we all know dharma is far, far wider. It's kind of cosmic law. It is not madhab or religion, because dharma is very pluralistic, all inclusive, and there is debate. You have a debate, you question everything, you discuss everything. And so a lot of things have become victim of this Victorian Indological studies of these people who had a divisive agenda. And so they did all this. Now, as Bhanteji was saying, the origin of Pali, somebody said that it originated in Western India because Girnar inscriptions of Ashok are similar to Pali. Then you have another view that Pali and the Hathigumpa inscription of Orissa is very similar to Pali. So Pali originated there. I remember some years ago, I'm from Punjab, I was talking to one professor, he said, oh, Pali originated in Punjab. You know, that kind of bias that has continued. The I hope you can hear me. Sorry, the video got. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, sorry. So what I'm saying is there are all kinds of controversies now. So for Pali, for example, I haven't done so much research because there are, there was scarcity of resources and there were all kinds of other issues. Now, Honorable Prime Minister Modi and Kalyan Mitra जो हैं आप जैसे तरुण चुग साहब जैसे Dr. Ganguly जैसे, with your help now, more infrastructure, more financial help, more facilities will be available. And also the kind of environment now that has been created by our government in the country. So there will be more kind of better environment to study this. So Pali, for example, I feel that now the Buddha, when the area in which the Buddha was preaching, Majjim Desh, or Madhya Desh as we call it in Pali. Majjim Desh was a very large area. It included approximately present day Bihar, UP, Haryana, Delhi, southern Uttarakhand, Terai region of Nepal, parts of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. So in this area, after Vediki, the language of the Vedas, which Buddhists call Chandaso, became a kind of language of knowledge, no longer being spoken or perhaps understood by common masses. And as language civilization grows, so now Sanskrit has become a sort of unspoken language, and various kinds of dialects are being spoken or languages are being spoken in this vast region called Majjim Desh. As Bhanteji said rightly, so you have Magadhi, you have Ardh Magadhi, and then you come towards Mathura region, you have Peshachi, towards Rajasthan, you have Saurseni. You move a little further on towards Gujarat, Avanti, Gujarat, and Sindh. Upbramsh was the sort of dialect that was being spoken. There was not much difference between these dialects. So most people could make out, understand. And I, as a student of Buddhism, understand that the Buddha could speak in all these dialects. And so wherever he went, he spoke in these dialects. But as Bhanteji was saying, large majority of his time was spent in an area where Magadhi was being spoken. And so then you have three important councils, Sangitis. The first Sangiti immediately 3 months after the Buddha's Nirvana, and then 100 years later, and then during the days of King Ashok. So there was effort to put together the Buddha Vachan. So, and then when this was happening, there was kind of division within the order, which is which is very natural because there is this debate and discussion and disagreements. So you have certain traditions in Buddhism which accepted Apabhransh as their language. Uh, there were others, Sarvastivadins, for example, accepted Sanskrit. Then there were some who accepted Paishachi as their language. So you have different traditions accepting different dialects or languages. And when you come to the time of King Ashok, when he patronized this third Buddhist council, the overall Buddhist order, Buddhist Sangh in India, majority of the monks felt very strongly that it is the Vivajjavad, which now is known as Theravada in Buddhism. Vivajjavad is the proper pure version of Buddha Vachan. And the language by this time that had been sort of, in which the Buddha Vachan had collected by these monks, scholar monks and scholar nuns, Vivajjavad, which was patronized by Ashok, and it was agreed in this council unanimously that this is the Buddha Vachan. And we understand that it was from time to time sort of, whatever contradictions in terms of words were found, they were sort of refined. For example, the word Brahman. Brahman was made Brahman. We have some evidence. So there was perhaps some influence of Sanskrit even now, because Sanskrit also shortly after this third council also comes into sort of use what we call classy Sanskrit, which is different from Vediki. Vediki is very technical. And so this was accepted unanimously that this is Buddha Vachan, and this later on in Sri Lanka was put down to writing, as Bhanteji said, and with the passage of time, there is again we are short of time. I will not waste more time of yours. With the passage of time, this collection of Pali Tipitak became known as Pali Bhasha, or Nirutti, as Bhanteji was saying. And then slowly even Atkathas, Anutika, and the secular literature that was being written in this language also became known as Pali. So the whole collection became known as Pali, then Vyakaran was prepared, and so on and so forth. And having said this, I would like to say this, that it is really a wonderful thing that the government of India under Honorable Modi ji and our Kalyan Mitras like Tarun Chugh ji and Dr. Anirban Ganguly ji, who have put all the efforts to get Pali declared as a classical language. So now all this kutumb, all this family of ours, the Buddha Khet, Buddha Kshetra, the whole of Southeast Asia and Pali, this family, now the unity and friendship will get further strengthened. And it is very nice that, as Dr. Ganguly was saying, it should have been done long ago. But there were all kinds of factors. Even now we have in India various kinds of forces who still follow those stereotypes of the Victorian Indologists. There are a lot of them. I, as a student of Buddhism, have faced that kind of thing. They still speak the same kind of language of the West. And so it is a very, very good thing that this language has been declared as a classical language. And now very clearly, as Dr. Ganguly was saying, a university is being opened, more infrastructure will be created, financial assistance will be extended at various levels. And so this brotherhood of ours, including Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, southern Vietnam, where this language is used as a holy language of Buddhism, will be re-emphasized. And so this family's relationship will be further emphasized. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
One of the most inspiring terms that you used, and now I think we should use that term as often, Buddha Kshetra.
Ji.
And you had defined it. So we are all part of Buddha Kshetra. And this is a very, Pali is the language of Buddha Kshetra. So thank you so much. As always, as lucidly you write, you speak as lucidly as you write. So I think it was a treat, and I'm sure all those who have come here have really been benefited, and we hope to have you physically also for
जी
a
जी
more,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
for a more detailed also, because we want to continue with this and continue with these various dimensions. And extremely grateful that you referred to us as Kalyan Mitras. We are extremely grateful to you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you,
सर
Professor.
सर केटीएस सर
जी सर
आपने बामन शब्द का प्रयोग किया
जी जी
पंजाबी च ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਮਨ ਹੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ
ਆਹੋ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਬਾਹਮਣੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपको।
Thank you.
और मुझे लगता है जिनको समझ में आया बहुत आनंद भी आया। आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट, अभी मैं आग्रह करूंगा कि वेनरेबल दीपंकर सुमेधु जी, तो एक उसके पहले अभी माननीय तरुण चुग जी को जाना है तो
पीएमओ बैठेगा ठीक है चलाइए
ठीक है, तो हम कर लेते हैं। नहीं आप ठीक है।
अनेक जाति संसारं संधा विषं अनुविषं. I'm not going to speak whole stanza, but this is the word Bhagwan Buddha recited. This is the Udan when he attended enlightenment. This is the beginning of Pali. Now, I am not going to much detail, but I would like to put light on certain things. भगवान बुद्ध ने जो ज्ञान प्राप्त किया, इस संसार के अंदर कोई भी व्यक्ति अगर एक नई चीज लाता है, उसे दुनिया को समझाने के लिए एक नए भाषा की, नए शब्दों की जरूरत होती है। यही कारण था कि भगवान बुद्ध ने जब ज्ञान प्राप्त किया बोध गया में, तो उन्होंने सबसे पहले अपने पंचवर्गीय भिक्षुओं को, the people who can understand his language, what he want to convey to them. So when Buddhism or teachings came in this world, so Buddha needed a new language, and that we can see with Hindi also. Mahavira, what is his name? I think Lokesh Chandra's father. These people, they have contributed. Raghuvira. They have contributed around 50,000, more than 50,000 words to Hindi. So how Hindi has become the Rashtra Bhasha. In same way, जब भगवान बुद्ध को ज्ञान प्राप्त हुआ, तो आम जन को अपनी वो शिक्षा देना चाहते, लेकिन वो जो आम जन जो है उस भाषा को समझ सके, और ये अक्सर कर भगवान बुद्ध के सामने आया कि भाई किस भाषा में बोला जाए। जब हम बौद्ध त्रिपिटक को पढ़ते हैं तो कहीं पर भी पाली शब्द का उपयोग नहीं है, ये कह के कि पाचित्य पाली, ये पाली नाम आया है। ये जो भाषा थी मुख्य रूप से जो 16 जनपद थे, जिसमें कुछ राजतंत्र था, कुछ में गणतंत्र था, वहां के लोगों की एक बाजार की एक कॉमन भाषा थी, जो व्यापारी से लेकर के साधु तक बोला करते थे, जिसमें एक दूसरे का इंटरेक्शन हुआ। किसी भी देश में जब उस देश की नींव रखी जाती है, तो लोगों के वार्तालाप के लिए एक जन भाषा की जरूरत होती है, ताकि मैसेज को पहुंचाया जा सके। ठीक उसी प्रकार जिस तरह से भारत जब आजाद हुआ, तो हमें इस भारत के विभिन्न राज्यों को कनेक्ट करने के लिए भाषा की आवश्यकता पड़ी, और वो भाषा हिंदी थी। ठीक उसी तरह से 2500 वर्ष पूर्व जब बुद्ध ने शिक्षाओं को देना शुरू किया, तो एक भाषा की आवश्यकता पड़ी। दैट लैंग्वेज वाज नोन एज मागधी, बिकॉज मगध एक बहुत पावरफुल एम्पायर। और आज भी जो मागधी भाषा है, वही मागधी भाषा बाद में जो है पाली बनती है। कैसे बनती है? जैसा भंते जी ने कहा कि कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि पा धातु में ली प्रत्यय लगा करके पंक्ति से पाली हुआ है, कुछ लोग कुछ और कहते हैं, लेकिन इसके अंदर एक बहुत बड़ी बात आई है। जो भब्रू शिलालेख है अशोक का, उसमें एक शब्द आया है पर्याय, जो पर्याय शब्द है। और अक्सर कर ये कहा गया है, भगवान बुद्ध ने खुद कहा है कि जो बुद्ध वचन है, द बुद्धाज वर्ड्स, ये वो जो है उनको पर्याय करके यूज किया गया है। ममितनवा में अपे में विजित धम नहाम रूटे के तेरुंगा ने तीने दे। So
Teruna.
So Pali, when we are speaking about the Pali, there were two Buddhist monks. They were coming from a very good family. The Tripita says that they were coming from a Sukul family. Now, do you know how we write the Sukul? That Sukul has today become the Sukla. Sukul means from a good family. they approached to Buddha and they asked him, Bhante, why we should not make one common language? एंड उसको हमें काव्य में क्यों ना लिखे, छंद। कुछ लोग छंद को कहते हैं जी, उन्होंने कहा वैदिक, लेकिन जो छंद वैदिक संस्कृत है, लेकिन यहाँ पे छंद का जो अर्थ है वो काव्य है, कि भाई हम भगवान बुद्ध के सूत्रों को काव्य में क्यों ना लिखें, ताकि लोग उसको बदल सके, उसको जो है प्रचारित कर सके। इसके लिए भगवान बुद्ध एक जगह कहते हैं उन दोनों भाइयों को, अनुजानामि भिक्खवे सकाय निरुत्तिया बुद्ध वचनं पर्यापुनीतम, कि ओ मॉन्क्स, यू preach Buddha's words in your language. What is your mother tongue? Which language people can understand? And this can be seen when Mahinda, the Asoka's son, reaching to Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan king is asking him that how we can spread Buddha Dhamma in our country. Then Mahinda is saying, until or unless there are no monks from your country who are speaking your own language, Buddhism cannot be established there. So Pali become a language of Buddhist monks and businessmen. There is why I am saying the businessmen. The monks and businessmen, they are very interrelated. And very first instance when Buddha attained enlightenment, two people, they were known Tapassu and Bhalli. I think Burmese, they know it, how in Swadagon Pagoda, the Buddha's relics, hair relics has
And
come.
in his lifetime.
Yes, in his lifetime, Tapassu and Bhalli, they were two travelers, merchants from Kashmir, or they could be from Takshila. As far as I feel, our Tarun Chuk Sahab might have been coming as ancestors from Takshila, from that side. As far as I feel, I don't know,
Yes.
because he is
Yes.
he is in Amritsar, and Amritsar वो जो है ना उस इलाके के ज्यादातर लोग आते हैं, ये तक्षशिला से लोग हैं। So हाँ, अबे मैं उस पे आगे आता हूँ। तो ये जो नालंदा की तो हम बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन नालंदा की बात अधूरी है, क्योंकि हमारा आधा जो दिल है ना वो पाकिस्तान में तक्षशिला में है, और तक्षशिला के अंदर नालंदा से पहले पाली पढ़ाई जाती थी। भगवान बुद्ध के समय में तक्षशिला यूनिवर्सिटी वाज वर्किंग देयर। नाउ I will go further because there is no time. In India, we are having many languages. बहुत सारी भाषाएं हैं, but there is only one language which is having the name of the cities, name of the towns, name of the village, name of the districts. आप लोग गूगल पे जाइए, स्टेट का नाम टाइप करो और वहां पे पाली लिखो। पंजाब में होशियारपुर के पास में एक गांव है जिसका नाम पाली है। हरियाणा, राजस्थान में पाली डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, हरियाणा में पाली है, आप कहीं भी चले जाइए पाली मिलेगा, पाली मिलेगा। ऐसी कोई भाषा नहीं है जो भौगोलिक रूप से भारत के अंदर दिखाई देती हो। इवन संस्कृत इज नॉट कि नेम ऑफ द विलेज, दिस इज अ वेरी एस्टोनिशिंग। नाउ आई कम हियर, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने बिल्कुल वही काम किया है जो कभी इस देश के अंदर भगवान की बुद्ध की मूर्तियां बिखरी पड़ी थी, स्तूप बिखरे पड़े थे, लोग गुजरते थे वहां से, लेकिन उन्हें पता नहीं था ये कौन है। एएसआई को बना करके जनरल कनिंघम ने उसको इस्टेब्लिश कर दिया। उसी तरह से इस देश के अंदर पाली भाषा तो थी, लेकिन पाली भाषा के अंदर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा जो स्थापित करी है वो मोदी साहब ने करी है, और इसका हम बौद्ध लोग तहे दिल से धन्यवाद। और पाली के अंदर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करने का अर्थ पता क्या हुआ? बुद्ध के वचनों को पुनः भारत के अंदर जीवित करना। जैसा अभी केटीएस सराव साहब ने कहा कि ये बुद्ध क्षेत्र जो है, और पाली ऐसा नहीं है। अरे बाबर जहां से आता है बुखारा, उसका नाम विहारा है, दैट इज ऑल्सो कमिंग फ्रॉम पाली। अफगानिस्तान, सो पाली इज स्कैटर्ड एवरीवेयर। इन अखंड भारत की जो हम कल्पना करते हैं, जो अशोककालीन भारत है, उस पूरे भारत में एक शब्द है पंजाब के अंदर, हम कहते हैं पिंड। तुसी किथे जा रहे हो? तुम्हारा पिंड कौन सा है? फ्रॉम वेयर दिस पिंड वर्ड कमिंग? बुद्ध गया में हम लड़ रहे हैं कि भाई पिंड दान। जब भिक्षु लोग गांव में जाते थे, पिंड दान के लिए जाते थे, ये पाली से निकल करके आया है। यही इतना नहीं है, एक और बड़ी अच्छी बात बताऊंगा। हमारे भारत एक पुस्तक है जिसका नाम है विशुद्धि मग्ध। विसुप्ति मग के अंदर दो गाथाएं हैं, एक है लुद्धा खुद्दा समाचाराति शुद्धा, दूसरा खेतानंग अधिपति खत्तियो। You know खत्री शब्द, the खत्री शब्द is coming pure Pali word. खेतानंग अधिपति खत्तियो, जो खेतों का मालिक है वह खत्री है। And most of the खत्री in Punjab they are having कौशल और आनंद गोत्र. That's it. And this both कौशल and आनंद गोत्र is coming from the कौशल जनपद। तो भारत के अंदर पाली जो है वो हमारे जनमानस में ऐसे घुसी पड़ी है कि इसको निकालना बहुत दुर्लभ है। अब आती है बात, हम एक अपने बहुत बड़े ज्ञानी ध्यानी व्यक्ति के पास आते हैं जिसको हम कहते हैं क्या कहते हैं, नानक। गुरु नानक देव जी ने या उनके बाद में हमारे जितने गुरुओं ने संतों ने जो गुरु ग्रंथ साहब को एकत्रित किया है, आपको गुरु ग्रंथ साहब को समझने के लिए पाली का मूल ज्ञान अति आवश्यक है। और अगर आप पाली को नहीं जानते हैं, ऐसा मैं नहीं कह रहा, भाई वीर सिंह साहित्य सदन है, वहां के बहुत सारे विद्वानों का यह मत है। जब मैं बिरला मंदिर का इंचार्ज था, मेरे पास आते थे, पूछा करते थे, भंते जी इसका क्या मतलब। मैं बहुत ज्यादा समय तो नहीं लूंगा, बहुत कुछ बोला जा सकता है, लेकिन पाली की उत्पत्ति के ऊपर मैं मोगल्लान व्याकरण का एक शब्द लूंगा जो उसका आदि है। सिद्ध मिद्ध गुणं साधु नमस्सित्वा तथागतं सधम्म संग भाषिस्य मागधं सद्दल। जो मोगल्लान व्याकरण का जो मूल शब्द है, जो मूल गाथा है, जहां से शुरू होता है, वहां पर भी पाली शब्द यूज है। वहां पे मागध सद लक्षण मागध का यूज हुआ है, लेकिन यही भाषा जिसने बुद्ध की शिक्षाओं को पाला, जिसने बुद्ध की शिक्षाओं को सरोचा, उसी का नाम पाली था। इससे आगे एक और स्टेप में आता हूं। आज हम लोग तमिलनाडु के अंदर भाषा के ऊपर बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन वही तमिल जो भाषा है, तमिल के जो अल्फाबेट्स हैं, उसमें सबसे पहले पाली को लिखा। तमिलनाडु के अंदर आप कहीं भी चले जाओ, जो स्कूल है उसको हम पल्ली कहते हैं। जो पल्ली वर्ड है वो पाली से निकल के आया है, वो भी हिंदी का ही शब्द है भाई, पल्ली। और यही नहीं, तमिलनाडु के अंदर जो हमारी मस्जिदें हैं उसको भी पल्ली वासल कहा जाता है। दैट इज द आउटकम ऑफ द पाली। एंड इफ यू गो फर्दर, you will find that in Tamil Nadu there were the people who are known as the Palli. Now they are Vanyar उनको कहा जाता है। So Pali is having great impact all over India, geographically, culturally, religiously, in all aspects, and we are very thankful of our honorable Prime Minister Modi जी कि जिन्होंने पाली को जो सम्मान दिया, पाली के अंदर जो प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करी, समस्त बौद्ध जगत उसके लिए बहुत ऋणी है। और मैं चाहूंगा कि हम इसके ऊपर अनिर्बान जी बड़ी कॉन्फ्रेंस करें पूरे दिन की, जिसमें कल्चरली जगहों के नाम सब निकल करके आए। जी ओके, धन्यवाद। मैं अपने शब्दों को ही विराम
साधु बहुत धन्यवाद, थैंक यू very much. This is what I was referring to, Professor KTS also, that we should have a big conference on this. In fact, Shubharti University has also offered to partner with us, and we will take time and find and take the dates and do a 2-day international conference on Pali and Buddha legacy. Thank you very much. Whenever Dipankar Sumedhoji was speaking, two things came to my mind. One is tomorrow Prime Minister is embarking on a visit to Thailand, and then on his way back he will also visit Sri Lanka. So in a sense it is a visit of Buddha Kshetra. So I'm very happy that we are extremely happy that Professor Vijita Dhammaji, Venerable Vijita Dhammaji also has joined us. And one thing I want to mention here, which is recorded, it is after my heart, and for our international scholars also who are here. The architect of India's constitution, Baba Saheb Ambedkar, was not only a great admirer, follower, disciple, and expert and scholar on Buddha and Buddhism, but toward the last months, years of his life, he was also working on a dictionary of Pali. He was preparing, he was working and preparing, he was putting together a dictionary on Pali. I found this very touching, very moving. Somebody who has put together our constitution was also working on a dictionary of Pali. So thank you so much. I would now request Venerable Professor Vijita Dhammaji to please address us. We are extremely grateful to you, Venerable, that you have joined us. And I wanted to say here one thing that Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, when he was doing his masters in Calcutta University, which was once the center of Pali studies, he had also taken one paper on Sinhalese also. And we'll be very happy that you have joined us, you have blessed us. And in future, we also look forward to coming to you and also physically having a conference with you in your university, and of also inviting you to come to India and also address us. Thank you.
නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නරින්ද මෝදි නාම විදිතෝ අග්ගාමච්චෝ මහාමති අග්ගහේසි පාලි භාසං ඒකා භාසාති භාරතේ ඊතං සුත්වා තුට්ඨාහුං ලංකිකා ගහට්ට පබ්බජිතා පතිගන්හන්තු අම්හාකං තෝමනංගි පුනප්පුනං කාය භාසාහං ආවුසෝ ඒතා ගාතා පටිතා ඒසා භාසා පනාවුසෝ පාලි භාසා ඉමා පාලි භාසා භාරත මහාදේශේ ඒකා සම්භාවිත භාසාති අධුනා අග්ගාමච්ච දුර වහන්තෝ නරින්ද මෝදි නාම මහාසයෝ පකාසේසි ඒතං පන අම්හාකං අතිතෝමන කාරණංති අහං මඤ්ඤාමි ඉදං පනාවුසෝ පාලි භාසා ඉමස්මින් කාලේපි පාලි භාසාය සල්ලපිතුං සක්කා කෝපනවාදෝ අම්හාකං බුද්ධස්ස භගවතෝ කාලේ ඒසා පාලි භාසා බුද්ධස්ස භගවතෝ කාලේ මගධ දේශේ ප්‍රමුඛතමා භාෂා අහෝසි. Good evening everybody. Dr. Anirban Ganguly, the chairman of the Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation, and the venerable members of the Mahasangha who are with us today. I am very happy to be with you for this great event. As we discussed few months ago, the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, declared that Pali as a sacred language or classical language of India. It was a very proud occasion for Sri Lankans also. We have good news from Sri Lanka. As a result of Honorable Prime Minister's declaration, Pali as a classical language of India, a leading Buddhist school or Buddhist college in Sri Lanka, the Anand College, Colombo, has decided to teach Pali language for the school children. Yesterday, we had a discussion with the principal of Anand College. Tomorrow, we will initiate the task actually. The principal wanted to start as soon as possible the Pali studies in Anand College in Sri Lanka. Actually, Anand College was started by the guidance of Buddhist monk and also Colonel Henry Still Olcott. Now we were having a discussion on Pali language. I am not going to speak much more. about the history of Pali and other things, venerables and our emeritus professor KTS Sarao expressed many things about that. Here, I would like to point out something why Pali is important for us, why we should learn Pali. As we know, Pali is the sacred language of Theravada Buddhism. Most of the scriptures belongs to Theravada Buddhism is in Pali language, as the previous speaker who spoke in Sinhala also pointed out. Therefore, as Buddhist, Pali language is very important for us to learn the original teachings of the Buddha. At present, we know that some scholars and also some ordinary people, without the lack of the knowledge in Pali language, interpret the Buddha's teachings in wrong way. There are many misinterpretations when we talk about the Sri Lankan context. At present, some Sri Lankan monks and lay community are trying to interpret the Buddha's words in Sinhala etymologies. For example, while interpreting the term anicca, they explain it as it in Sinhalese language, not as in Pali language, because they don't know the Pali language. Therefore, Pali study is very important for us to understand the original Buddha's teachings correctly without any mistake. And also, in linguistic point of view, Pali is very important for us because Pali is a Middle Indo-Aryan language, as we know. We have many influences to our Sinhala language from Pali. Therefore, as Sinhalese, it is very important studying Pali to understand the origin of Sinhala language also. We use many Pali words in Sinhalese language. Not only that, the Pali has influence to Thai language, Myanmar language, and Cambodian language. Those Myanmar monks know that clearly actually. Today also we had a great ceremony to transfer merits for the departed Myanmar community in Sri Lanka. I was having that religious ceremony when you started the program actually. Therefore, Pali is very important in linguistic point of view also. Actually, we know that Pali was originated in India. Therefore, there are many information regarding ancient Indian knowledge in Pali language. Other than the Tipitaka, we have many Pali texts where we can get more information about ancient Indian knowledge. Recently, I found a palm leaf manuscript on the astrology written in Pali language. It was the first time actually in my life that I found a Pali manuscript on astrology. Therefore, Pali is more important for us to get more knowledge on ancient Indian disciplines, including astrology and other things. Therefore, we need to study Pali language clearly. I very much thankful to Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation for having this kind of discussion. Actually, please, I humbly request Dr. Anirban Ganguly to organize research conference on Pali language and its future to discuss these things largely what our venerables and Dr. Sarao pointed out. Thank you very much for inviting me for this great event. Thank you very much. Sukitatta Bhavantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Venerable, extremely grateful to you for explaining and for making some points so clearly and for bringing in that dimension also. Especially, it is a cause of great celebration because Prime Minister will reach Sri Lanka on 6th, I think on 5th and 6th he will be there.
Yes, yes.
And on 6th.
And one another thing actually, my effort is to continue the Pali language because we are the present uh, uh, responsibilities to transfer the Pali language into our future nations. In 2017, I wrote a new commentary on 10 future bodhisattvas in Pali language. That new commentary was named as Dasa Bodhisattupatti Katha Atthakatha. I composed an Atthakatha. It was the recent Atthakatha in the Atthakatha lineage. Therefore, our effort is to continue the Pali language as we can. Thank you.
Wonderful. I think we will carry out your submission to continuously to have a detailed conference, and we'll be very happy
Yes.
to be able to do it with you together. This is the 14th such program we are having. I'm not being able to see Venerable. Yes, this is the 14th program we are having, and we have had it across the Buddha Kshetra in India. And then we also, I had the fortune of being in Bangkok last 2 months ago, and we spoke there also. So I look forward to taking this ahead. And especially the news of Ananda College in Colombo deciding to teach Pali is extremely heartening for us. For us in India also, it becomes an example of how we can further encourage and take this forward. Venerable Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee was also president of the Mahabodhi Society of India. And at that time, the general secretary was Devapriya Valisina, who were very close. And his revered father, Ashutosh Mukherjee, was given the title of Sambuddha Gama Chakravarti by the, I think by the Anuradhapura Nikaya. They conferred on him the title of Sambuddha Gama Chakravarti. It is the first time the Sangha, the Mahasangha of Sri Lanka, came to confer that title on an Indian scholar and thinker. I think therefore your presence here is extremely symbolic also. And thank you very much for your very inspiring words, very clear, inspiring words. We are equally inspired, and we are very happy that this language, which is a civilizational bridge, it is linking us again in a new dimension and in a new light. I hope we have your blessings, and we have the energy, collective energy of all members of the Bhikkhu Sangha who are present here, that we have their blessings so that we can take forward and do more work, popularize, preserve, and disseminate the dimensions of Pali language and the heritage of Lord Buddha. I would like to thank you very much, along with all the other eminent speakers who joined us at such a short notice, who came forward to bless us. I would like to thank Professor Venerable Vijita Dhammaji. I want to thank Dr. Kachenji. I want to thank, I would like to express my gratitude to you and to Venerable Dipankar Sumedhoji, all members of the Bhikkhu Sangha. Thank you very much. Heartfelt gratitude to you for your blessings and for your support. I want to thank Professor KTS Sarao, who is present with us here today with his stature and with his vast experience and contribution to Buddhist studies in India and globally. I want to thank Sri Tarun Chukji also. I want to thank those in the audience who have virtually joined us, Professor Mishra and all the others. And I want to thank the Shubharti University. I want to thank everyone who have come from there. I would like to express my special gratitude to Venerable Buddhakriti ji, who is here with us. Here he's sitting here on my right, and to all others, to Sri Subroto Badua ji, and I want to thank Venerable Rupesh, who has come. He's from Nalanda, KTS ji, and originally from Magad, so it makes it even more relevant that he is with us here. Extremely grateful that he could
इंस्टीट्यूट के
also
पीछे ही गाँव है इनका.
come. I want to also thank our entire team at the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation and the team who has come and who's always here recording our proceedings also. And Shubhrato Barua ji ko maine thank kiya specially. Or so I look forward to again connecting. And there is a slight token of gratitude for all members of the Bhikkhu Sangha who are here. We would like to give it to them. And thank you so much, sir. KTS ji.
Thank you. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Venerable Vijit Dhamma ji, thank you so much.
सराज साहब आज
Thank you,
20 साल बाद
welcome.
आपसे मुलाकात हो रही है.
वैसे भी मिलेंगे
हाँ.
सर.
23 years.
बिल्कुल मैम.
Should we end with a prayer? End with a prayer.
Yeah.
End with a prayer.
Sabbe bhadrani passantu ma kanchido Sabbe santa sukhi hantu sabbe hantu chakirino sabbe bhadrani passantu ma kanchido sabbe santa sukhi hantu sabbe hantu chakirino sabbe bhadrani passantu Ma kanchi dukkama kama.
सबको वहां ले जाए वहां इजी रहेगा.
निर्माण साहब, हम सब लोगों की तरफ से आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. और केटीएस सराव साहब, अनडिवाइडेड इंडिया में अगर कहीं पाली सुना जा सकता था वो सिर्फ चट्टगांव और उसके ट्रैक्ट हिल्स थे, और कहीं पाली का वाचन नहीं होता था इस मूल भारत में. तो गांगुली जी और हमारे बूटो जी को बहुत आशीर्वाद प्राप्त है भगवान बुद्ध के
बिल्कुल.
के कचाई
जी
को.
जी बिल्कुल. जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
So, KTS ji, I'll also connect with you once virtually. या मैं आ भी जाता हूँ physically एक बार. आप
जी बिल्कुल एनी टाइम सर, एनी टाइम, नो प्रॉब्लम. जी धन्यवाद सर.
आप तो मेरे हृदय में बसते हैं तो मैं याद करता हूँ.
मेरे में भी आप. जी थैंक यू सो मच सर.
Thank you.
जी राइट. सी यू.
So I request everyone we just go to the next one. एक कुछ हुई. फोटो ले सकता अमित देख ले. बाहर
गार्डन में
बाहर गार्डन.
This go to this. Yeah,